but listing postcards is not that hard. Don't make it harder than it is. The GPS of postcards. Today the special topic is going to be on postcards with a map theme. So like the maps that you see of the states and different ones. I do like those, they do stick out, and sometimes I do get some extra money for those. So we're going to, on the special topic today, it'll be map themed postcards. And I have a lot of examples and stuff to show you. Now on what sold, I sold 19 items on eBay for a total of $117. 9 of those were photos, the shipped photos, and the rest were postcards. So it'll be real easy to go through because I already packed up 9 photos, and I'll just show you a snapshot of it because it was a special deal for a guy. And on Etsy I sold 1 card. It's a large letter card for $6. So a total of $123, so we'll go through those in the beginning. Shouldn't take too long, but it shows you the variety that these people are buying. And then I have a poll, and I got a lot of participation on this one, a lot of comments that we'll go over. Do you store your postcards in? Question mark. How do you store your postcards? What boxes or container? And you'll see the wide variety of how people store their postcards. And I'll also tell you where my link is for the boxes I have and why I use the ones I do. And then I got a couple of viewer comments to go over. One of them is, how do I list from a big lot of postcards? You know, what is my method? What do I do with them? So you want to stick around at the end of the video for that. But let's go ahead and do the what solds. Now the first thing was these. I already packed up the 9 photos because I gave the guy a refund on an offer. Made an offer on the 7 photos, and they ended up getting 9. So I gave him a little bit off on it, but I wanted to pack it up and get that deal out of the way. But here's a little snapshot of all the photos. It's just those 6x5s of the ship. Now the first one other ones that sold on eBay postcards, I sold another white border card, Uncle Sam's Great Airplane Carriers. I didn't get this from my ship haul. This came in from another deal or whatever, but it's a white border card of that aircraft carrier. I sold a popcorn wagon. Hot dogs and popcorn. 1914 Creators Popcorn Wagon. It's a museum of automobiles. And that's located in Arkansas. So I sold a popcorn wagon. That's a first. Next one is a road. This is a view along Route 17 quick way into Sullivan County, New York. It's a road. I sold the road. $4.55. Chrome card. Then I sold a hotel. So when you're on the road, get some popcorn, and then you gotta sleep somewhere. So you get a hotel. This is Lido Beach. Not far from where we go every year in Siesta Key, but Lido Beach is just north of there in Sarasota, over by Armand Circle. That's a hotel for $4.55. Sold one of the prints. This is the Corsage. That one sold for $4.55. Of course, I sold another boat, the USS Edison. I have a couple hundred of these cards left. Nice card stock. That was done with a publisher, not a print. $4.55. This is a Catskill Mountain Lookout, but this isn't from the private collection. This was in box number 14, I think. Chrome card. $4.55. Then I sold a Utah copper mine, Bingham Canyon, Utah. Chrome card. Someone had $2 on there. I don't take those flea market prices off. I leave them on. Let the people know. So $4.55. And then I sold a ship cover. This is the USS Gilmore, July 31st, 1934. That's what they're looking for, is that stamp right there. That's what collectors use. And there's nothing in this envelope. It's sealed. That's what it is a naval ship cover. Each ship has its own mail thing, and if you look right back here, let me see if I can do it right, that little badge right there is a naval badge of the mail service or whatever the department on the ships or whatever on their petty officers right there. That's one there. I wasn't in the military, but when I bought the ship haul I got a bunch of those, so I put one up there. On Etsy I sold 1 card for $6. It's a chrome card, large letter, greetings from Miami, Florida. And you can see it glisten. It's not one of those linens, it's a chrome. So 50s, 60s maybe. And it does have one of those flea market things, or antique booth. And they said 50 cents. I got $6 for this. So no matter what the price is on the back, put up what you need, and that's what I got for it. So a total of, again, 19 items on eBay for $117, one item on Etsy for $6, so a total of 20 items for $123 overnight. Not too bad. Sales have been kind of going up a little bit, and the bigger order for that photos came in yesterday. That was a nice one too. I was hoping for one of those. Special topic, map cards. I just like map cards. I kind of get drawn to them, and we'll see how good of a seller they are and the sell-through rates. But as I go through stuff, there wasn't a lot of history about map and postcards, so I thought I would talk a little bit about maps and why people collect them and what makes it so interesting. So I found some highlights here, and as I do this, I'll show you some of the map postcards. One of them's got Walt Disney on there, and it's a map of Disneyland, so watch for that. Basically, the definition I came up with, I didn't really find a real definition for postcards with maps on them. It's basically postcards that have a map on them. That's my definition, postcards that have a map on them. Cartography is the study and practice of making and using maps. So there's a name for it. Now there's different types of maps. The topographic map is primarily concerned with the topographic description of a place, including the use of contour lines showing evaluation. Now a topological map is a very general type of map. The kind you sketch it out on paper, on a napkin or whatever. It disregards scale and detail in the interest of clarity and communicating a specific route or relational information. So if you're telling someone how to get to your house or get into a store or a different place, you just draw them a little map. It's not in detail, not in scale. Kind of a topological. Now when you get the one with the elevations, more detailed, you get into the topographic. The interesting I found about maps as I was reading through different things about them, some maps have misleading information on them. And that's not by mistake. It's done on purpose. A lot of map makers and companies were worried that their maps would be copied, and they would misname streets. There's a name for that. It's called Trap Street. Trap, like a mousetrap. Trap Street. A trap street is a fake entry to misrepresent a street on a map. The reason they call it Trap Street because it's like trapping potential copyright violators of the map. When the violators were asked about that street, they cannot explain it, why that street was on their map. So it was kind of like putting your signature on something or a hidden mark on there. So they're called trap streets. And you can look that up and get more information. Now when you show a globe or a map to somebody, watch what they do. They say the first thing they do is they try to find out where their home is or a familiar place. You ever get a globe and just hand it to someone, see what they do. They'll probably go right to their house. They said most of the time. Now a lot of postcards are your 6x4 Continentals, your 3.5 by 5.5 standard, but there's also die cut postcards. And die cut means it's not a rectangle. A lot of the maps on postcards with maps on them might be die cut, and they're the shape of the state. And we'll see some of those, but those can be pretty lucrative on the money. And one of them probably went through here as you saw it. But you want to look for the die cut maps as well. Postcards. Now people collect things, and one of them is postcards with maps on it. Postcards are a different breed and different categories. Some people collect purple rhinoceroses, blue penguins, polar bears, lighthouses, covered bridges. These targeted today is maps. People like maps. I always get a few extra dollars normally for the map cards. Now do these things sell? Now one of the ways to gauge that is looking at pricing, but also you want to kind of look at the sell-through rate. So here's the calculation for sell-through rate. It's the number of sold list divided by listed times 100. And the times 100 just makes it a percent, moves the decimal point. So for example, for postcard space map, that's what I put in the title, the search field on eBay, and I hit enter. It told me there was 23,000 listed. So I put that in the calculation. And then I went over and clicked on the sold button. The filter on sold, and there was 2,100 sold. So I took 2,100 divided by 23,000 times 100, a 9% sell-through rate. Again, that doesn't mean anything by itself. You need to compare it to other things. So here's some other titles I use. Postcard Space Nevada, 11%. Postcard Space Indiana, 8%. Postcard Space Texas, 7%. And one of the lowest ones, Postcard Space New Hampshire, 4%. So where does 9% fit in? It's out of the 4 things that I sampled here, it's above average, a couple percents. It's at 9%, and Nevada was at 11%. Say they're doing pretty good for a sell rate for postcards. They're not New Hampshire. So map cards is something you want to look for. It does have a little higher sell-through rate, so 9%. And compared to the other things, and you can do that anytime. If you want to know about postcard-based automobiles, get the listed, hit sold, get the sold, divide the 2 times 100, it'll give you a sell-through rate. And if you do it with enough of things and get a little paper or a spreadsheet with them on there, you can compare. Is 9% really good? For postcards, it's not bad. My store, I'm at 2% sell-through rate. That means out of every 100 cards for the month, if I had 100 cards listed, I would only sell 2. Now, each category is going to be different. eBay is going to be different. Your store is going to be different. So every store is going to be different, but my store that I track every month is running about 2%. So a 9% sell-through rate for the map cards is not bad, but you gotta kind of take the average, kind of, okay, 9, 7, 12. You want to be around in there, so it's a little bit, it's higher for that item. But if you do your store, you'll get all different figures, but it's just a little gauge I use. It's not scientific on there, and eBay is not going to show you everything, but it helps with the decisions. Now pricing, sold high, sold low, list high, list low. And then after this, I'm going to show you some examples of the pretty prevalent cards out there, the average ones that you see, and what some of the solds are. So I got like 7 of them that I'll run through. Now the sold high tier, this one I thought was unique. It's an antique Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Cyprus, Ottoman 1890s map postcard. Got a lot of stuff in there. It's from Turkey. Sold for $75. Now, there's a lot of things not right in this thing of best practices. Number one, he's holding the card with a bunch of the background and stuff like that. Everybody says use white background, use the scanner and stuff like that. He sold this thing for $75, and look at that picture. Uses the word antique. Has a lot of caps in there. Still sold. So I'm not saying if you don't do that stuff that I always preach about, it won't sell. This guy sold it for $75. The people are buying them by the topic. If you got good items, everything, you could put them on the side of a horse, they'd probably sell. But look at that picture. It's not even close to best practice. Hands in the picture, not close up, computer in the background, some other stuff in there. It's just not a good picture. But it still sold for $75. So that was an older one, Palestine and Israel. So there's some history there. Next one is Hawaiian. It's a little bit of a die cut card. As you tell, it's not a rectangle. It's got some edging on there and with the waves. Waikiki, Hawaii, 1940s postcard, die cut, mirror chrome. You don't need to put that in there. Everybody knows this. Pictogram, map of city streets. Not for sure some of those keywords, but $61. It's not bad. And there were some best practices in the title, but it's still sold. So going in and just doing your titles might not get your card sold. It will help to keep it consistent. But these people are not using all the best practices, and they're still selling things because they got good stuff. This is a neat card. It's a die cut card. The next one is Old Sanibel Island, Florida. Postcard, map of Sanibel and Captiva. Great card. Get rid of great card. No one's searching on a great card. $40 in an auction, and got 6 bids. Florida's a great place, nostalgic for people. But Sanibel Island, $40 map card. If you look at all these, it's averaging about $50, $55 for these cards, these 3 cards. So you want to take a look when you get a map card, a die cut, an older one, maybe Palestine, Israel over in the Middle East, Turkey and stuff like that. Keep it in your mind. Then we get into sold low, of course, to the extremes. You got Georgia, Jekyll Island, Georgia aerial view map postcard. Keyword search, again, capital letters, 79 cents. You can get more for that card. It's a map card. Free shipping, 79 cents, 1 bid. It's a buy it now in an auction. Auctions. You can get more for that card. Listen to buy it now, sit on it, let it go. Clean up that title, put postcard up front. I don't use the state and the abbreviation on there. People say it does do things. Like I said before, I don't go down those rabbit holes. eBay knows it's Georgia, eBay knows it's GA. People are looking for this subject. Next one is Map of Jamaica postcard. It's got a little scalloped edge on the sides. $1.19, buy it now, $1.25 shipping. Probably could have got a little bit more for that. It's a map card. with a bunch of multi-pictures. People go to Jamaica giving this stuff away. Next one is Kentucky. It's got a horse on it. State map and multi-mini view. Get rid of the and sign. Sometimes in SQL queries that could cause some issues. Any punctuation I never use. I use the word and that can cause some Boolean algebra issues too. But most of the current stuff today, more modern search engines and stuff, knows what to do with this stuff. Mini views. Horse, capital, bridge. So you put mini views before horse, capital, bridge of the subject of the card. Get rid of mini views, move everything to the left. Finish, and get rid of the minus sign. That could be like a minus sign also in search. So if you're searching something on eBay or the web and you don't want to find anything with the word blue, you would put cars space minus blue and it would take out anything blue. So you're putting minuses here. Is that affecting the search? I don't know how they did their text search and stuff. But vintage postcard. It is, move the postcard to the front, put map, state map, capital, bridge, horse in there. Get rid of mini views, get rid of the and sign, and Kentucky at the end. It's going to roll. It's easier to read and stuff like that. So the lows are still like before. You got the $55 higher ones, and then the people are hitting the bottom over there. So you got to be very careful when comping cards. And then the viewer comments, I'll kind of explain to you how I work around some of this stuff when I'm looking through cards on there. Not real detail, but enough to tell you what I do when I get a box of cards. Let's see what these people list these things for. Bahama Items Map Postcard, 1954. $500! Is it a treasure map? I don't think so. $500. What is so special about that map card that makes it $500? I don't know. I don't think it's worth $500. Just look, I would never even, I won't even take a second look at it. Bahamas is a touristy place. I'm sure there's a bunch of cards. Bermuda, I just got like 1,000 cards in for Bermuda. Caribbean Islands always sell, but they don't sell for $500. So there could be something on this card that I don't know. If you know, let me know. But I would pass on that. Next one's another Caribbean one I picked out. Map Postcard, Thomas Virgin Islands Danish stamp. What's so special about a Danish stamp? I'm not a stamp person, so if someone can tell me, is that going to bring it up to $130? They do show in the picture both the front and the back. I've seen that. Stuff like that. 1900, is it circa 1900? Is it early 1900s? What makes this a $130 map card? Next one is a die cut card, vintage postcard with canceled 1 cent and 2 cent stamps. I can find postcards with that all day long. State of California map. You're not selling stamps, you're selling postcards, so why do you have more stuff about stamps than postcards in your title? They've taken up more room with the stamp stuff than the postcard. And that postcard is mass produced. It is not a $100 postcard, unless it's something special. So all of these, I wouldn't even not take a second look. I would not even open, probably click on it because of the price. I could be off base, but when I'm searching for postcards, even if they collect them, I'm not going to pay that much for a Bermuda $500 or $100 for a California card, but I could probably go out and get it for $2. Remember, your competition is the other postcard sellers. But you don't want to chase them to the bottom, but you got to be in the ballpark. Listed low. People give this stuff away. You got to stop doing that. Greeting from Ohio postcard with cardinal and map, the Buckeye State. Get rid of the quotes. Greeting, everybody knows. It's a postcard map, state map, Ohio. You can put cardinal on there and stuff like that. You can see the picture. $1 and 60 cents shipping. Why even put 60 cents there? You're giving the stuff away. $1. By the time you get done with the fees and the whole works and stuff like that, it's not even worth your time doing it. You can get more money for that card. I sell these cards for $6, $7 all the time. Minimum. The other ones, some of the other ones I sell more, the die cuts and like that. Next one is K Postcard. K Postcard. Not for sure it is. All caps. Postcard greetings from Ohio map postcard. 77 cents and $1.16 shipping. From Canada. You can get more for that card. You're giving it away. Next one is from me. Illinois. And I'm right, I'll see if I can show you where I'm at. I'm right down here on this side. Illinois map. multi-view postcard. They can see it's multi-view. Talk about Illinois. Talk about Postcard. You're selling a postcard. Get that up front in front of people. Illinois. State map. Illinois state map. Postcard state map. Illinois. Multi-view. Put that out in the end. Get your stuff that they're going to look for right up front so it doesn't get truncated on the phones and stuff. $2. I've sold, by the time you get shipping, you're at $1.40. Pay eBay fees, you're at $1. Get all your envelopes and your time and stuff. You're paying these people to buy these cards. But I don't dwell on it. It's what it is. I see it every time I do these. And you just find the best place, but be very careful when you're comping them. Now let me show you some of these other solds here. And I'll put them on the big screen so you can look at each one as they go through. Because there's a lot of them that we see out there all the time. So this one is Upper Peninsula, Michigan. $4 it sold for, $1.50 shipping. They had best offer on $4. So that sold for $4. This Texas one sold for $4.80. The Utah one sold for $6. So just those three, we're talking about $4 or $5 right there. The next one is a regular Wisconsin one, sold for $1.29. Now this one here is a 6x4 Continental of West Virginia. Flowers. That sold for $10, $9.75. It's a nice looking card, and it's 6x4. Interesting. Then you get into your die cut. Here's a California card. 1959. $27. So you want to check out those die cuts. And the one I used in my thumbnail, I think, is this Vermont one, the Four Seasons State. Everybody knows it's a chrome postcard. Move all that to the front. $8. I wouldn't list any map card under $5. Just looking at all these, even the Continental ones can go for more. So that I wanted to do the other solds here because these are a lot of the cards that people see out there and stuff, and they do stick out in the listings. People look for those, and you put map right up front. Put a picture of a map and map. Might stop. You got to get the click, then you got to get them into your listing, then you got to get them into the pictures and description and hit that buy button. So, but first you got to get the click. You got to stop them from scrolling, and these map cards can do that, especially the bright red ones. Anything red, lava, volcanoes, big red flowers. Sometimes that'll get people's eyes to go there, and they click and they view. Once they're in there, then you got to hook them. Get them into your listing. That's map cards. I like them. I always look for these. I like when I get lots and I get on there. Who knew? Now these polls that I do, every Saturday morning I send them out, 8 or 9 Central Time, getting a lot of participation. This one had 52 votes on it, and I pulled a little early because I'm doing the videos before we travel. The question was, do you store your postcards in a, and then I put postcard box, shoe box, homemade box, etc. So let's see what people said about this. I have a lot of comments on this one, so stick around what people have said, and they're quick comments. So postcard box, 29%. So those are boxes made for postcards. So 30%, basically, 29% said yes. Shoebox, 15%. That's normal. Homemade modified box, a lot of people make their boxes, 19%. In a drawer, 2%. Other, 35%. Everybody has a different way of storing postcards. Now, what box do I use? I use this box right here. This is got a lid. It comes from, there's a link in the description, my description's in the video, so if you want to go down and see where I get these. It's called Bags Unlimited is the company I get them from. So it's got a lid. They come shipped pretty well. You just got to put them together. But they'll hold about 700-800 sleeve cards. It's got a little divider thing in the front. The fronts do slide down, but I normally tape them because I pull them in and out. But this will slide down so the cards will fall forward on there. But that's the box that I use right there. Why do I use that box? Number one, I like it. It's made well. It's not going to damage the cards. And I can put a lot of postcards in them. Plus, I wanted everything the same. So once I started with 100 of these things, 50 of these things, I just kept using the same one. There's a lot of other good boxes. Some people use the smaller ones with the front open. just different things. I'm not saying that's the best box, but that's the box I use. Just ordered some a couple months ago, another 25 or whatever, just to have them on there. But what did people say they do in the comments? So let's run through these real quick. So Biff Buffalo says, I buy the fancier boxes from Globe Weiss, even though there are much cheaper options. I like the way they look, and I spend so many hours in my office, so I enjoy the appearance. They are tax deduction anyhow, so that helps. Yeah, he likes it. He bought them. He feels good about them and stuff like that. Nathan Bishop said, library card file cabinet. I was thinking about that with the ones that pull out. I could stack them and stuff, but I didn't want to pull them out. Now, I don't put lids on top of mine either because I did it first, but I don't have any water or anything above me here, and we're pretty elevated ground on our house. I got tired of flipping boxes, so I just leave the lids off. It's a convenience thing. But they use a library card file cabinet. Beth Webster, I use a plastic shoe-size storage box. I see a lot of that. Kelly uses the Sterilite 6-quart containers. Technically, it's a shoe container. Boldly Grow Pickers. I'm small enough that I use the photo cases from the craft store I work at. 16 sub cases, 30-ish cards each maybe. Haven't tested the max. Works for my size for now. You will grow. You'll change. Always build it for bigger than what you're going to do. Because by the time you get to a point you want to change it, you might have 2,000 cards. That's a lot of stuff to move. Come up with a system that you're going to be comfortable with. Look at what everybody's doing, what they're saying here, and pick out the best thing that's going to work for you. Because you will change it up. When you get up to 1,000 cards, it starts getting unmanageable unless you have a system. And I have a SKU system. I think Biff uses the state system name. Some other people use different systems. Pick a system, because don't let it get out of control before you make the change. You will change your inventory. Most of you will. I did it 3 times. Inventory is probably one of the biggest things. That's why I put this poll out here and talking a lot about this, because it's so important. You can lose so much time and money not finding cards. Sandra Wilcox, I found several empty photo boxes in a closet at an estate sale for 75 cents each. I also use plastic Sterilite boxes with lids. I try not to pay retail. Now, I paid because I like the way mine is. It's a convenience, and it's just me, and I think Biff's about the same way. I like it there. They're all uniformed. I know what they hold. They're about 10 pounds a piece, so I knew the shelves would be about 100 pounds. I knew what to set them for. If I want to move them, I have lids for them, but I didn't keep all the lids. I kind of tossed them. They're just neat boxes that I use. They fit my need. In the box in the garage, photo boxes that he uses photo boxes that you can pick up at any craft store, because I already had some new ones that weren't being used. Deal Finder said that he uses 6/12 shipping boxes. Cards are ordered by list date. I then pulled a card for sale from a month. It was listed. Fairly easy to find the listed card with the system. Cards not listed yet are stored in the same type of boxes by state or topic. Don't make it difficult like he's doing. Make it easy, but ordered by list date. I've heard it before, not that prevalent. Be careful that as you get bigger, I think it will work, but I've never seen it used that much, and I'm not familiar with it. Think about it. If you have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cards, will that work for you? If it does, use it. It's a system. It's a system. I don't know why I got a concern in my mind about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do fine. Jay Smith, Sterilite plastic shoe boxes with a sheet of chipboard or manila folder covering the bottom with corrugated rectangular pushers at the front and back so the cards stay tightly packed. No damage yet. In fact, the cards actually flatten out in storage. Mark's method is faster, but I like the security of having stuff in a plastic container. See the light. Years ago, I purchased boxes from Pittsburgh File and Box Company. They have a tray that slides out from the outer box so they can be stacked. The size I bought was for first day covers, which would be longer. It's like those navel covers that I sold today. So it holds standard and continental size postcards. You see a lot of dealers at stamp and postcard shows that have them, which is where I found out about them. Sadly, Pittsburgh File Box discontinued them. I think I replied, yeah, I saw those, and now I understand why I can't find them. I was going to go to that, but I didn't want the slide out. I like the boxes here. I can just tilt them down and look at them, or I pull them off and put them on my little work table here and then put them back up. Now I do have to put tape on the front because I pull them a lot, and I didn't want the cardboard to get deteriorated, so I put tape along the top right when I pull. So I put tape along here to keep this thing from swinging open, and then when they're used I put tape along the edge here, a couple strips of tape, because that's where I pull it out and after a while they start getting bent and the cardboard will wear out. That's where I make them a little bit stronger that way. Next one is the Flower Girl. Told you I had a lot of these, and I enjoy it when I see a lot of participation. Thanks everyone. The Flower Girl, currently standing upright in a 6x44 box. Laughing out, but I'm just getting started. She aspires to mark system. Sure, as long as you got a system, but catch it now. Get it set up for the future. Set it up for 10,000 cards, or 5,000 cards, or 3,000. Something that you can scale. They call scaling. You want to. So if you need, right now you only need 1 box, buy 5 boxes and get them all set up. You don't have to worry about it. Then when you get to 4 boxes, buy 5 more, and set up 5 more. It will go. You will use them if you're serious about postcards, but it will get out of control fast. It undoubtedly, it goes fast. Don't think it's not going to be tomorrow. It will happen. Get a system, whatever works for you. Trying to learn this. I get these totes from Walmart made by Sterilite. I've heard that about 3 or 4 times now, so that seems like a best practice, using those Sterilite things that Kelly and some of the other ones use. Cost $10 for 10. Can't beat it. They have a lid and stack easily. Holds about 800 cards. About 10 pounds of cards. About what one of these white boxes. That's the poll. Those were all the questions about where to store your stuff. So if anybody has any questions, put it in the comments and someone will reply where they get them or stuff like that. If you're looking for the boxes that I use, they're from Bags Unlimited. The link's below. I'm not affiliate. I don't have an affiliate link with them, whatever. But I do put them in there. They do have some other postcard archival stuff in there and stuff like that. But I like mine uniform. The shelves are 4 foot by 12 foot, so these boxes fit on there nicely. Get a little front heavy until I get all the cards in there, but I have a little weight thing that I put in the back until I get them full. But they've worked for me for years. That's the poll. Thanks for participating in all the comments, guys. Now, I only did 2 viewer comments today. We went all along on a few things. First one is Boldly Grow Pickers. Ran into not being able to ship eBay standard envelope over the weekend for a baseball postcard I sold. eBay support said it's a problem we're having. I just ate the couple extra dollars for first class. You know, I haven't had that in a while. They had those shipping problems before. But what I do there, if I don't have to send it out, I just wait till the next day or use a different browser, restart the computer if that doesn't do it, and usually wait it out, let it sync overnight, and do it next morning. Sometimes you can just have one late ship and it won't affect your stats. It won't do much. Remember, eBay standard envelope doesn't need an acceptance scan. It just needs a scan somewhere in the system. It depends on how you have your handling time set. I'm 1 day. If it's a Friday and I can't ship on the card on Saturday, I still got Sunday to go. I got to get it out by Monday. But if it comes to a point where I need to get it out, then I use a stamp and label. I did that for years. Yeah, you don't have tracking. It'll get there. Most of them get there. Just get it out the door, but you still won't, even using a stamp and a label, you still won't have tracking, so you'll just have a little spot on your percentage for that. But 1 card should not hurt anything on there if you have to wait. That's what I told them. What's other people do? Now, Julie Green asked a question. She asked if she can ask a question. And she asked a question. So, yes, you can ask a question. When you buy a large lot of postcards, do you pick and choose what to list, or do you list everything? Except Niagara Falls, of course. Okay, here's what I do. When I buy a lot of postcards, let's say I get a postcards and they fill this box. I buy this box and it's full of postcards. Say there's 800 postcards in there. I sit down, I take them out, make sure there's no sleeves. I try to make sure there's a metal add-on, there's no buttons, there's nothing sticking out, or the glitter ones. Try to find things like that that will damage my scanner. So once I do the quick look through there, or any real damaged ones, I get them out of there. I don't look through every card at that point. I don't sort them. I don't sort them by state. I don't sort them by topic. There's so many which ways to sort them. I don't do that. Then I take them and I put them in stacks of about 15 to 20. Crisscross them like that. Fire up the old scanner and I scan the whole box. Put them in packs of about 100. Then I list them. When I have a stack of cards in front of me, the packs I got 100, I just look at that. If it's something don't need to research, I know what it is. It's a chrome card. It goes $4 to $6. It goes up for $4.55. If it's something that needs more research, I know there's money into it. I'm not for sure. I set it to the right of me in a pile and copy, and that goes into the special folder for me to do research later on. I don't stop the progression. Now, if I get to a card and it has duplicates, I'll look at them, and sometimes I'll put one to the side because I'll put it on Etsy. they're all separate listings, or I just keep moving on. If I find a card that's really damaged, it goes in the flea market box pile. Then that goes in the flea market box. I don't do a lot of sorting ahead of time. Some people do that and they think that's quicker by not typing the name and the state. That's fine on them. I use templates. I can type pretty fast. So if I got to type Illinois, whatever, it's fine. I'm not wasting too much time. And so I can work through the cards, especially ship cards. I'm not going to look up every one of these ship cards. I got them for a good price. I want to get them out to people. They're all about the same thing. $4.55. Very simple. I was doing it for almost 8 months, every day, doing 100 of those, 50 to 100. But that's what I do. A lot of people get stuck because they get stuck on a card and they're looking it up and looking it up, all of a sudden a half hour goes by and they've only listed 2 cards. Set that one to the side, and then when you go into research mode, you can do a little bit better job. That's what I do. Now everybody, that's another passion thing, like shipping, pricing, storing. All those are things that I usually don't ask resellers about, is how they list, because everybody has their way of doing it. Everybody thinks their way is better. As long as you can get it done, I really don't care. But listing postcards is not that hard. Don't make it harder than it is. Now I was talking about die cut with the map cards. Now there's regular rectangle map cards, but then there's those die cuts that's not a rectangle. Those get pretty good money is what I'm seeing when I was looking through the pricing, and as you saw there. Check this video out here. I'll talk about die cut postcards. It's just not map cards, guys. They do well all over. Depends what they are. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there. That's all I got for you today. Bye.